Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain. Happy New Year and welcome to the summer transfer special at Sheffield Wednesday as we move from Season 2 into Season 3 as we look to win the Champions League for the first time. And of course we move into our second season as as a Premier League club. And we just about got through last season, so this is going to be a big summer as we hopefully build ourselves into can we dare dream of mid-table Premier League club? Let's hope so. So this is our team report at the end of the last season where we just avoided relegation on the final day. Now, if we look at notable weaknesses, there's a lot of them. I mean, you look at this and pretty much everything is a notable weakness, which isn't ideal and would suggest that we have a lot of work to do. And then we just get to the orange things, and there's more of those as well. There is a lot of work to do this window. We can see what I'm assuming this is the assistant manager has as our best team. If I'm looking at it, I'm not convinced centre back is somewhere we need to desperately look at. I think we do need to look at a goalkeeper. I think we do need to look at a left back, even though Greg Taylor is actually coming in permanently. And we'll have a look at who we've already agreed to sign in a second. I do think we could probably still upgrade there. We do have somebody coming into play as a defensive midfielder. We'll look at that in a second. If we could get Hannibal back, that would be a lovely thing. Maya is leaving. He's only here on loan. Aarons and Bo Said, I think, did okay. Tete came up big for us at the end of the season. I do still think we need to try and improve our attacking. We just basically need to improve everywhere. I do think, though, if there's an area of the field we don't necessarily need to improve, it's maybe at centre-back. And we can see there Joe Worrell, he was fine. I don't think defensively it was our problem last year. It was very much the attacking side of things, wasn't it? If we have a look here, we can see there's 25, almost 26 million in the bank. It says we have a transfer budget next season of just under 14 million. That's not ideal. Ideally, we will be able to improve that. Our wage budget for next season is basically what we're committed to spending. We are able to retain 75% of transfer revenue. We'll have a word to the board, see if we can increase any of this. But we don't have much room to maneuver, which probably means player sales. Now, players we already know are coming in. Greg Taylor, we agreed last season. He wasn't good for us when he came in, let's be honest, but there might be a decent left back there. If we can, he'll be settled in. We might be able to get away with him as a left back. The other player that's coming in, and this is a good one, I think, is Boubakary Soumare. This is basically going to be our new defensive midfielder. He will then free up Tonali to stay further forward where he was at the end of last season. And I think he could do quite well. 23, he's already agreed, so he's going to be coming in once everything opens. When's he coming in? The 7th. The 1st of the 7th, 1st of July. We know that Espinoza, his contract was up. He's going to be leaving. And the other person we know is leaving is Hidalgo, who just showed glimpses, but was never really... He wasn't Premier League ready, and we weren't able to get him out on loan, so he's leaving as well. So that's what we know is happening. There's a lot that could still happen as well. It's going to be an interesting summer. I'm looking forward to this. There's a lot of work to do, so let's start doing it. All right, now this is more like it. Now we have a Premier League budget. We have £48.5 million to spend. We have a wage budget of just under 900 grand a week, so we've got about, 400 grand, 300 grand a week we can spend, which is superb. And then also adding to that, we've also asked them to increase, or to improve, I should say, the training facilities, which they are, which is brilliant. Also the youth facilities, and we threw in an increased junior budget while we're there as well, a coaching budget, I should say. So that's now excellent, which is fantastic. Hopefully that'll continue to give us the best possible youngsters coming through. We've got the facilities right now. We have a look here. Everything's just average and adequate. So the training facilities will go from average to good, I suppose, or maybe adequate, and then adequate will go up to the next level. So we'll work on this through the off season and try and improve things where we can. But that's an excellent start to the episode. Really, really happy with all that. Alright, just a quick update. We have the commercial summary. We did have a quick look at this last episode that they show you in the end of season report. But we have 7 new deals worth $5.25 million a year. A new stadium sponsor as well, which is up $1.5 million on the previous deal. So sponsorship overall is up, $2.5 million, is it? So that's good, obviously. Corporate hospitality was roughly the same. Matchday revenue was roughly the same. Broadcast revenue, obviously, was skyrocketing. Prize money, only $10 million, but hopefully, if we push up that Premier League table, and we'll find ourselves getting more and more cash there. The best shirt sales were Tete, not surprising, Tonali, Bo Said, Shankland, which is maybe surprising, and Mas Luongo as well. So there we go. And the other brief bit of news to update you on is that Hannibal Mabry will be staying with us for another year. We extended his loan. We're paying a little bit more now. He's got a new contract at Man United. He's on bigger wages, but I think 14 grand a week is still very, very much worth it when it comes to Hannibal Mabry. So he's with us for next season. I'm having a look around to see what we do with Matheson. I think I would like to keep him, but we'll wait and see there. We don't want to go too early on the loans because obviously you can only have 2 domestic loans. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But Hannibal will be back next season. We have breaking news this evening out of Sheffield Wednesday as the club announced the signing of Welsh international defender Neco Williams from Liverpool. Now, for more on this story, we cross live to local reporter Ernest Topbottom. And Ernest, this appears to be a relatively low transfer fee. Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, the right back joins for an initial £5.5 million and should help Wednesday get forward down the right. So there we go, first signing of the summer done. We have signed Neco Williams from Liverpool, 5.5 million up front, which I think is a decent fee, potentially rising a little bit. You can see if he plays 50 games for us, but that's fine. He's signed as a squad player. He will probably be a little bit more than that, but I'll explain why he's a squad player in just a second. 20 grand a week we're paying him. A B minus is what the fans say. He is a player of good caliber and importance. You can see all the other ins and outs of his contract there. I always like to offer high bonuses, as if you've watched my channel for a while now, you will know. Helps keep the wage budget down as well. Let's have a look at him. And he is a very good attacking fullback. Now, I think the way we're going to play is the way we finished last season, so with wingers and the one man up front. So I'm thinking he's going to play as a fullback, maybe as a complete wingback on support. And he's very, very good. He's got very good, above average physicals anyway. He can cross the ball, he can dribble. And he's not too bad defensively. The one concern I have is positioning. Now, as a wing-back, it says that's not too important. I always feel like it's somewhat important positioning. But anyway, hopefully he's going to be a good player for us. Now, there has been a little bit of action on the outside of things. But those don't actually take place until July 1st. We're June 15th. So once everything has taken place, and I'll come back and I'll run you through that. But we have got a couple of players out, a couple of guys we're trying to get out as well. And obviously we are still, I don't want to go too early on signing players, but equally I don't want to wait too long either, because I want to try and gel the squad as much as possible. Pre-season starts in a couple of days. So yeah. But first signing across the line, it's Neco Williams, and I think that's a nice little addition to the squad. Alright, just a quick update. The new Premier League season, as you can see, draws near. The teams coming up, West Brom, Norwich and Fulham. So 3 teams, yo-yo teams, I guess you'd say, they're coming up. Now, a little bit of an update on some players that have gone out. Callum Patterson has left, of course, one of the heroes of our promotion season. 1.4 million off to Swansea. Just didn't cut it last year for us, so we've moved him on. I would have liked to get maybe a slightly higher fee, but his contract was up at the end of the season. So it could potentially rise a little bit higher, but that just kind of is what it is. So he has left. And the other player that has left is Charlie Colkett. Now, we signed him for last season. He left for 2 million, which again is not a bad fee. We were desperate last year, weren't we? He's not a bad player. He did score a very important goal for us at Newcastle. We've made a nice little profit on him as well. So I don't regret making the signing. I think he was a nice little pickup for last season, but we need to do better if we're going to move forward. So we'll look to strengthen in midfield and we've sold him on already. So as I said, 2 million is a pretty good fee for Colkett, and I'm relatively happy with that as well. So that helps to finance us a little bit. You can see transfer budget hasn't really been affected, even though we have signed Williams, and the wage budget, again, it's only gone up ever so slightly. So yeah, I think we're looking okay. We're still trying to clear out some of the dead wood. We're still looking for the right players to sign. So there are going to be signings coming. It's just, as I said, I don't want to go too early and then sort of find someone better further in the window. But trust me, guys, they're coming. Yeah, that's right, mate. Hannibal's already here. Yeah, it's just on loan, but we know what happened last time, so I'm hopeful. You're in? Oh, that's fantastic news, mate. Great news. We're getting the Brentford band back together. So, joining us at Sheffield Wednesday from Manchester United is James Garner for £7 million. We are basically getting the Brentford team back together, aren't we? But I don't usually like to do this, but he came up, the scouts found him, £7 million. I think it's an absolute steal. He's on 47 grand a week, which is a little bit higher maybe than we would have liked. A B- rating by the fans, they say, because we're overloaded with midfield orchestrators. We needed depth in midfield. I think we saw that last season. That was one area that we were a little bit thin. With Colquitt leaving, that obviously opens up a spot in the squad in any case. And £7 million, I really don't think we can go wrong here. He's a very, very good passer. He's got good team. He's just a good, solid all-round midfielder. He can drop in to play as a little bit deeper role if we need him to. I don't know if he's a box-to-boxer. He doesn't really have the dribbling for that, but just as someone who can sit in there if Tonali gets injured, if the new guy that's coming in on a free transfer, if he gets injured, I just think he's going to be just a good all-round player for us, and it might mean the end of Massimo Luongo as well, but he's played a season on loan at Watford. That's about it. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. James Garner has joined us, and one other signing that we've done, and it's not really something to get too excited about just yet, but Sam Campbell has come in and joined us. He has come in from Motherwell for $350,000. Very much one for the future. But yeah, I just thought, we'll start and build a team. We sign him now for 350 grand. If we signed him in 3 or 4 years' time, when he's going to probably be ready to the standard we need him to be, we would be paying probably at least 1 or 2 zeros on top of that. So, yeah, I think he'll be a good one long term, but we probably won't see him outside of cup games for a couple of seasons. So that's another one that's come in. So we're getting there. We still have quite a bit of cash left, 38 million. We've still got, about 250 grand a week in the wage budget, which obviously will disappear very quickly. But I think we're building something good here, which is good, which is obviously a nice place to be. Okay, more breaking news and another signing, and we have signed another centre-back. I knew I said we didn't really need to sign defenders, but, we've improved here. Christian Bellic, I think you pronounce it. We're signing from Derby County, 7.5 million up front, potentially rising to 9 million if he plays 50 games for us. The reason I've done this, and you can see it's annoyed Finley, and Finley has since, he's going to put in a transfer request. That's good, and Maya is staying as well. So that's another... it should be, assuming he wants to stay, another player that's signing, only because he's already here and we need a little bit of depth in wide areas. The reason for that is because we missed out on Podence, who has gone off and annoyingly joined Aston Villa instead of us. So he would have been a good player for us, but never mind. We're not going to worry about what we didn't get. Now let's have a quick look at what we've got here in Bellic, and basically I like him because he can provide depth for us in midfield and do it, not just be like a half-assed depth. He is actually enabled midfielder, but he's going to be a good ball-playing centre-back as well. He's got good passing, he's got decent vision, he's good in the air, he's just a good all-round player who can still develop a little bit as well. We've got him relatively cheap, only 22 grand a week. He's signed as a squad player, which is good. He's not going to expect to play every week. I think he's going to do okay. Derby's made a loss on him as well. He's played 2 years in the Championship, maybe not fantastically, but I think he's going to do okay for us. I really, really do. So he has come in, and as I said, it looks like as a result of that, Finley will be leaving. He's worth 3.5 million. We paid 105 grand for him, so we're going to make a nice little profit on him anyway. And I don't think you can make an argument that it isn't an upgrade as well. So, yeah, I think all in all, we've done okay there. Okay, so it is July 1st, and there is a lot to catch you up on. First things first, Greg Taylor has arrived for £6 million. Yeah, that transfer didn't age well, did it? I thought he was going to be decent. We'll see what we get out of him this coming season, but I really, really wish we could have cancelled that. He's worth 13 million. Maybe we try and sell him straight on. Might be something to look at. But the two signings that have come in, we have signed Yannis Horn, another left back. Hopefully this guy will do a little bit better. He's really, really quick. He's strong in the air. He can cross the ball, which is basically what we want our wing-backs, full-backs to be able to do. Just get forward, support whoever the winger is that's playing further in front of them. I just think he's a good, all-round, decent player. He's not going to win us a Champions League, but I think he is a step up on what we have. The one concern with him, if we have a look at a coaching report, is that it says he might take a little bit of time to adjust. or did say that before we signed him, that he may take a little bit of time to adjust to living in a new country. So we'll see what happens. We got him on a free. We're paying him 16 grand a week, which at Premier League level is a pittance. So we'll just kind of see what happens. And if we have to sell him on, like I say, he's cost us nothing, that we don't really lose anything. He's played in the Bundesliga relatively well. If we got a fullback playing 6-7-5, we'd be pretty happy with that, wouldn't we? So that's the first guy that's come in. And the second one is Samari, who we've been waiting for quite a while now. He comes in, it says as a star player. I don't think he is, but he's going to be a really, really good, solid player for us. Again, he's played in League and the Bundesliga, and again, done quite well there, or okay there anyway. Now, a few players have left as well. We'll have a quick look here. Espinoza has left at the end of his contract, so farewell to him. The other players to leave is Hilgado has left at the end of his contract, so good luck to him. And if we have a look at the transfer, we're trying to get rid of Mas Luongo now. His time at the club has come to an end. I'll do this off camera. But the other thing I did want to show you was if we look at the players who have been released. Now, the headline here is Adam Reach. He was brilliant for us in the Championship. We saw last season he just wasn't good enough for the Premier League. So he has left. I think he will go down as a legend of the club. If we come back and do a team of the series, he's got a feature, doesn't he, after getting us single-handedly promoted. A few other guys there that never, I don't think, ever were in the first team. But Reach has also left the club. So financially, we've still got 25 million to spend. We still have about 150 grand a week to spend. I think we do still need a striker. Ideally, we need a goalkeeper as well. We should be able to raise a little bit more cash selling off some unwanted central defenders. But the squad is taking shape. I think a goalkeeper and a defender, and a goalkeeper and a striker, I should say. And I'll be pretty happy. Okay, we have made another signing. It's a loan signing. It is a goalkeeper. It is Gavin Bazunu, I guess you pronounce it, from Manchester City. I tried to sign him permanently. It's only a C-rated, C-plus rated signing by the fans, but he looks to be a very, very good goalkeeper, very high potential, only 20, relatively low wages as well for us. As I said, I would have liked to have signed him permanently, but that wasn't an option, so instead we've gone and got him on loan. He was at Hull last year in the Championship. Did quite well. A 6.7 rating for a goalkeeper is not too shabby. So yeah, he's here. He's going to be probably our number one. I do like the fact that he's a ball-playing goalkeeper, which appeals to me. So we'll see how he gets on. As I said, he'll be at least troubling the number one goalkeeper. I can't decide if it's Dawson or if it's Will Smith. I want to be that sort of the guy that competes with him, and we'll probably look to sell on the other one to get some extra revenue in. But we do have a goalkeeper. I'm relatively happy with that. Now we'll look to go and get ourselves a striker. As you know, strikers, they're the most expensive. They're the most difficult to get. We have 25 million to spend. So let's go see what we can do. Hey, Massimo. Good day, mate. Yeah, look, I've got some fantastic news for you. You're heading home. Yeah, mate, look, obviously I'll be really sad to see you go, but let's face it, there's only room for one Aussie at the club. Yeah. Where are you going? It's a new expansion team, I think. It's pronounced Rapid Wien. Pardon? Yeah, no, it's in Australia. It's pronounced Vienna, but Vienna's in Austria. Oh, I see what happened. So Massimo Luongo has left the club. It always hurts me to sell an Australian, but he was not quite good enough for us. We've got 5.75 million for him, which is an excellent fee for a player that was 29, and as I said, he's fading away. So I think that's a good piece of business for us. Now, another out that has happened. You can see that here is Darnell Fisher. He's gone off to MLS for 2.5 million. Again, we just couldn't quite get what we needed out of him. And I'm absolutely shocked that we managed to sell him for a profit, to be honest. But there we go. He has left the club as well. And your Hoghide has gone off to Wigan on loan. League One Wigan. He's going to be a regular starter there. Hopefully he will actually play regularly, develop over the season. Then we'll be able to make a decision on him as to exactly what his future holds. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that one. So, still trying to get ourselves a striker in. But yeah, Mas Luongo's left. That's, again, more money off the wage bill. Well, look at that. We're down to under 700 grand a week now. We've got 30 million to spend. If we could find a striker that's willing to join us, we have a budget to get him in. But yeah, getting the sort of the quality that we want, it's proving difficult. Okay, now we have signed a striker, though not the striker that we wanted. The striker we wanted was this guy, but he rejected us, so that's a shame because he was transfer listed as well. So that would have been a nice one to get, Esposito, or whatever his name is, from Inter. But anyway, that's not who we got. We got one, and this is Hopewell. It better not be the guy because he's not great. But Thiago Morales, I think you'd pronounce it. He is he's an 18-year-old promising striker. He's one for the future. Potentially, he could work out for us. We paid 250 grand for him. We're not paying him too much. He is literally here as a prospect. Let's have a quick look at what we've signed. And we've signed a potential striker. He may come off, he may not. We've promised him to go out on loan for this season, so hopefully we'll manage to keep that promise. We signed him from Boavista in Portugal. He has played in Liga NOS. So that's good. He's played top flight football in a big European league. He's scored a goal as well. So he's done okay. We'll see how he gets on here. As I said, he's not the guy because I don't think he's as good as Tete, but we'll see what happens with him. And he has joined us. Okay, another signing, again another striker, and again probably not the guy, but this was an easy signing to make. It's Sam Codsgrove from Aberdeen in Scotland. We've paid 2.1 million for him up front, potentially another $500,000 if he plays 50 games for us, which I suspect he will not. You can see they're unsure about the signing. The fans hope he can live up to the promise early in his career. We're not paying him too much, 18.5 grand a week as a squad player. Why did it do that? I don't think he'll be anything more than that. Again, I've gone with the big bonuses to try and make him earn his money. Let's have a quick look at what we've got here. He is basically another version of Tete. He's not too bad physically. He's sort of a little bit more well-rounded without the sort of the heights in as a target man. But he's a good header, a good finisher, good penalty taker as well. He can pass a ball. It's underwhelming, I know, but he's somebody who can come in and I think just about do a job for us. And like I say, we'll be able to sell him back to Scotland or to the Championship or something if we can get somebody better in this season. He's done okay playing in Scotland, nothing more than that, you would say. But yeah, if he comes in, if he can do what Tete did for us last year, then it'll be fine. And he's essentially in as a backup for Tete. And of course, we still have Shankland at the club as well, who I think in theory should be a decent player for us. But this is just a backup one. As I said, an easy signing to make, and if we can get somebody better in, then we'll just move him on really, really quickly. Okay, so we have another departure to announce. Joe Wildsmith, our keeper, has left. He's off to Utrecht in Holland. 4.4 million up front, potentially another million if he plays 50 games for him. He's only 26. And I think he could actually gone there as a backup, so maybe he won't play the 50 games. I think he could actually do quite well over there. But anyway, good passing goalkeeper. Should do well in Dutch football, I would have thought. But anyway, 4.4 million, he is left. That didn't please Iorfa, but we've calmed him down, so that's fine. And another departure. We've sold this guy mostly because I couldn't say his name, but also because he wasn't going to play for us. He wasn't developing as I would have hoped. We probably could have got I was hoping to get a better fee for him. Only 120k. He's gone off to the Championship, but we still made a profit on him. We signed him very much as someone who could come off for us. He didn't, but we didn't really lose too much there, did we? There's about a week to go before the season starts. I am still looking for that striker. We are going to get somebody in. I'm just making sure it's the right person. Okay, we have two more signings to announce, both very much players for the future. First up, we have signed Fionn Mooney, I think you'd pronounce it, from Crystal Palace. 2.5 million up front, potentially rising up. You can see there with games played, if we make the Europa League and goals scored. This guy is, as I said, very, very much one for the future. The fans like him, which is good. You can see there lots and lots of potential. He's on 5 grand a week right now. You can see all the other bonuses there as well. Let's have a quick look at this guy. My basic plan for him is that this is the long-term Hannibal Mabry. We can't rely on him staying. But I think this guy could develop into someone that's not too far off of him. He's got good passing and good vision already. Technique, work rate, it's all there. You can see he's listed for loan. We have promised that we will loan him out. So we'll probably look to do that for this season. Well, we have to do it for this season. We promised him we would. And then see where he ends up after that. But yeah, 2.5 million. I think that could prove to be a bargain down the line. That's certainly what I'm hoping for anyway. And the other signing that we've made, And again, very much one for the future. But we've signed Callum Doyle, an 18-year-old centre-back. We signed him on a free transfer. He's on £850 a week here just as a breakthrough prospect. Potentially, it says championship level. I think he might even be a little bit better than that. Let's have a quick look at him. You can see physically he's quite good. He's got the basic defensive stats, very, very good tackler, which I like. And like I say, he's coming on a free transfer, so there's not really too much to lose. He was let go by Manchester City. So we'll just see how he goes. An absolute worst case scenario, we'll be able to sell him on for a nice little profit. But I think he could actually develop into somebody that might be useful to our first team. So those are those two signings. We're still we're at Friday. We have the Monday night game for the Premier League. We do have a bid in for a striker. We'll have to wait and see if he comes in time. Okay, so we are at game day. We didn't get the striker across the line, so hopefully next episode he will come in between the first and second games. We start at home to Arsenal, so it's a tough game to start with. Then we have the newly promoted Norwich away. Now, I'm conscious of episode length here, but a quick update of what we've done this window. We can see all the outs there. The main ones, I think, certainly in terms of fees. Mas Luongo, who was a regular starter for us last year, of course, has left. And, one of our first choice-ish goalkeepers, Will Smith, has left as well. So we've bought in $12.75 million. We've spent $25.5 million. And this is a quick refresh of what we signed here. James Garner has come in as a midfielder. We've also bought in Bellick as a defender / defensive midfielder. Also coming in, of course, Taylor on a permanent deal. Really wish that hadn't happened. But we're stuck with him now, £6 million. Of course, Samare, who we had already agreed a contract with once he had his previous club had expired. Now, we've got him as a star player. We need to try and roll back that a little bit. Because we've strengthened in midfield, so he's not going to be a star player now, but I don't want to annoy him too early on here. Yannis Horn has come in to be our first choice left back. Good quick player, can cross a ball. I'm hoping for good things from him. Bazunu, even the goalkeeper we have on loan from Manchester City, he will be challenging to be first choice. I think he will probably, you can see I've given him the number 1 shirt. I think he will probably be first choice to start the season with anyway. Thiago Morales has come in. He's one for the future. We're going to try and get him out on loan this season. But yeah, definitely a potentially good striker for us there. Sam Cosgrove, very much a signing that was easy to make and easy to undo as well. So he's come in from Aberdeen for $2.1 million. Callum Doyle, a youngster, one for the future as a centre-back. We'll see what happens with him. Potentially, though, could be quite good. And the other one, of course, is Fionn. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but Fionn Mooney has come in. Again, one for the future. Again, you can see we're already trying to get him out on loan to Doncaster. Long-term, I'm thinking he could be the new Hannibal Mabry for us, but we'll wait and see what happens with that. Now, let's have a look at the squad we have to start the season. And if we start up top, these are our striking options. And again, there will be at least one more coming in. But Marcondes is still here. I thought he was useful to hang on to. He can play in midfield as well. So he's still here. Technically our best rated striker. Tete, though, obviously, will get the start the season. We saw what he did for us last year. Hopefully he can continue his end of season form. Shankland is still around. I didn't try to sell him basically because I do think he's a good player. Good finishing, good composure, good determination, good off the ball movement. I think there is a good player there for us. Meyer can play up top. We sort of trialed him there last year. He's better in wide areas, though. And, of course, Cosgrove, who has come in, is decent as well. And it says there's one more. Who's the one more? Oh, Rolando Aarons. He can't play up top. Don't worry about that. Wide areas. Aarons is left-footed. He will predominantly play on the left side, but he can play on the right if needed. Most of the wide players can play either side. Meyer, of course, can play both sides. He is right-footed, though. Neco Williams could push forward, though he will unless we're desperate, he'll be playing it right back. And of course, Bo Said, who was one of the saviours of our season last year. Let's hope he's a sly-looking guy, isn't he? Let's hope that he can pick up his form for us and pick up where he left off, I should say. We'll be fine if he can. Over on the left, we've seen most of these guys. Tete can play over there. The other guy, I think, and we're looking to keep him more as a winger now, not as a defensive player, but Matt Penny is still around, so he will be as a left-footed player, probably second in line, I would imagine, amongst these people to play left wing. It is a position I would like to strengthen. I have looked at some players, but there was no one that was that much better than Rolando Aarons, and it they were talking big fees, so we'll probably hang on to him for this year. His contract's up at the end of this season, so at some point through the year, we'll make a decision on how we want to go ahead with a left winger, but Aarons did fine last year, I thought. Midfield, this is where I think we have really strengthened and we look quite strong this year. Sandro Tonali, we have Hannibal Mabry, We have Marcondes obviously still as an option. We have Bellic, who can step forward, but predominantly will be used as a defender. Samare, who we've just seen, came in, a very, very strong, solid all-round midfielder. James Garner, same sort of thing, very strong, solid all-round midfielder. Deli Bashiru, who was, of course, a star at the end of last season. He will hopefully continue that. And Bo Said, a lot of last season, of course, we used him as a Mazzella, so we know that he can drop back in and do a decent job for us in there as well. Defensive midfielders, most of these guys are the same. Tonali, Garner, Samare, Carmo, and Bellic will predominantly be central defenders, so let's go and have a look at those guys. Now, I'm looking to use him more as, well, he'll probably be on the bench for a lot of games. He can cover right back. He will be the backup right back, though, I think, but we know he can also play centre back. The actual centre backs, Worrell, club captain this year. He will probably not be a first choice guy. Sutar is still around. Again, I haven't looked to sell him because he can cover right back for us as well. Bellic, even though he's at the bottom of the list, he will be one of the first choice guys this year. You can see he's already starting to improve, which is fantastic. We hung on to Nartley as well. He is, I think, just a solid player for us, so we'll keep him as a backup. Carmo will be the other first choice centre-back. He looks to be an absolute star for us. And Finley, we are looking to sell him. You can see he's listed as surplus to requirements, but as long as he's here, he's a decent defender, but I think he's more championship level than he is Premier League level, to be honest. If we look at the fullbacks over to the left, Finley, well, he can be, but he's not a fullback for us. Taylor will be one of the main guys. The first choice guy will be Horn, and obviously we know we have Matt Penny who can fill in there. Ogilvy's still around as well. He was solid-ish for us last year, but he'll very much be just a backup. He could play centre-back as well, to be honest. There's nothing there that says he couldn't play as a centre-back. Over on the right, this is, I think, a position of strength, but not maybe depth. Iorfa is one option there, and of course the new boy, Neco Williams, I think will be the first choice guy there. You can see we've given him the number 2 shirt, mainly because it was vacant. And of course Suta is an option as well. Go back to goalkeepers. These are the 3 that we have in the senior squad. Cameron Dawson will be back up this season. Well, certainly that's where he'll start. And as I said, Bazunu even will be the first choice goalkeeper. And we still have Manelli around he's just a good solid option, I think, as a third choice goalkeeper. That's not bad. His contract's up the end of this year, so we probably won't have him for any longer than that. Though if he's happy to stay, to be honest, I might even extend him if he's, depending on what his wages are. $2,000 a week for a solid third choice is not the worst thing that could happen. So that's the team that we have for the start of the season, guys. As I said, I'm aware that we need a striker. There is one coming in. I don't want to give names just yet in case it doesn't quite work out, but it should go through. He's agreed the contract. We're just waiting on him to actually sign it. And left wing, I think, is somewhere else I'd like to strengthen. But let me know where else you think we could do with some strengthening. And I will see you next time as we get the season underway against Arsenal and Norwich. Thumbs up if you've enjoyed this. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you to start our second season in the Premier League. Take care.